going to talk about the astrological consultation, which is a subject that I'm really attracted to. I think quite often we study a lot about what the transits means, what everything means, and then we don't study that much how to approach the client and how to do the consultation actually, like how much should we charge, how long should it take, where should we do it, and all of those kinds of things. So you're going to notice a lot of questions. I mean, my way of answering questions is probably the same way that I do consultations. So I don't believe there's one answer to all of these questions. I actually believe that it depends on you. It depends on you as an astrologer and what you think a consultation should be about. So my answers will not be dogmatic. They will not be, oh, you should charge this amount and your consultation should be 50 minutes or 1 hour or 3 hours or a whole day. I won't say anything like that, because I think you need to look at your own chart to see what type of astrologer you want to be. And from that, you're going to be able to decide what kind of consultations you want to design for you and your clients. So it's not going to be the same answers for every one of you. And my idea is to give you some insights so you can kind of think about that, reflect on that, and find out how to design a consultation that works for you. And then we're also going to see a little bit about the client, to think about, I mean, we need to bear the client in mind also. So the idea for today's talk is to review all of these in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let's see if we can do it. What is a consultation, first of all? Then we have the ethical considerations about consultation. And then we have, we're going to talk a little bit about you as astrologers. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about mundane matters, the cost, the timing, the place. And finally, we're going to be talking about the client and how their chart will guide you through the consultation. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the structure of the consultation, how to start it, how to close it, how to prepare it, and all of that. So hopefully we'll be able to do all of this today. All right. So to start, what is a consultation? What is a consultation to you? What does it mean to have a consultation? Why do you think somebody may go to a consultation? Why would you go to a consultation? So these are all the questions you need to ask yourself. The first question you need, the first definition that you need to have is, what do you expect as an astrologer of a consultation? What do you think this is about? This image is, this is my answer. So I'm going to give you my answer, but it's not for you to copy my answer, but for you to kind of see the way I think, and maybe this will help you to define, to answer this question for yourself. So this is a cave in Argentina, where I'm from, and these hands have been painted there, they believe, 7,300 before our era. So they're very, very old. And when I was there and I saw these, I felt something very powerful and magical. And I felt like these people were actually trying to communicate with something greater than themselves in order to maybe achieve something, do something, get something, thank for something, or something like that. But what I felt is that this was a way for them to have a dialogue with something greater than themselves, maybe the spirits of the place, maybe some idea they had of God or whatever. So my idea of a consultation is that when we do a consultation, we're casting a chart, and two people, or maybe three if it's a synastry, are getting together into this room in order to have a dialogue with something greater than themselves, with the sky in this case, and that this means that this is a dialogue, that I will not have all the answers from scratch from before beginning the consultation, but that some of the answers are going to be built together. So it's me and the client and the chart itself that are gonna build the answers to the client's questions together. So for me, the consultation is about dialogue, it's about discovering something for the client, and also is about providing some insights or some information to the client to help him or her do what they need to, what they might want to achieve. The second thing we need to bear in mind is the ethical questions. And I think this is I think we never think about this enough. As David said, I'm a psychologist, and as a psychologist, I had a whole, when I was studying for the degree, I had a whole term in which we discussed ethical questions as a psychologist. And as a psychologist, we have a code of ethics that we need to respect, and if we don't, I mean, that there's a law. The law says that we need to respect that code of ethics. So it's really important to respect it. So maybe if you have some ethical questions, maybe you can look at the code of ethics of the Psychology Association in your area, and maybe it will give you some guidelines on what should be your code of ethics. I am also an astrologer from the Faculty of Astrological Studies, and we also have a code of ethics there. So if something comes up with a client that I feel I'm not comfortable with, I look for that code of ethics and I see what it says. And sometimes it may also help you, because if you need to set a boundary with a client, you can, sometimes it's hard, to set boundaries. So you can excuse yourself with the code of ethics, especially when people ask you to look at charts. A few weeks ago, I had a client who I had seen already, like in February, and she wanted to have a second consultation because she was having some problems with her partner. So she came into the consultation with her partner's chart, so we could discuss his chart. And she was very distressed. So she really felt like she needed some help. But my ethical belief is that I cannot discuss a chart of somebody who has not given me permission to do so, and who is not present in the room. Unless, of course, they are public figures and they are setting like a role model for society or something like that, and we can learn from that. But if it's like in a personal level, I don't think we cannot do that. So I cannot do the chart of somebody's boyfriend without him knowing about it and without him being present. But for her, it was very, very kind of disappointing, because she really felt like she needed that help. So the easiest way for me to explain was, look, there's a code of ethics that I'm attached to from the faculty, and it says that I'm not allowed to do this. So we can work on your problem, on your situation, but from your chart, unless you want to tell your boyfriend and he comes and we do a synastry together, and that's perfectly fine. So those kind of ethical considerations may help you also set your own rules when it comes to the consultation. Here I quoted this poem, which I think it's beautiful, and it says, had I the heavens embroidered cloths and wrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. And I think this is a situation, it's not the same situation between client and astrologer, but it's a similar situation in the sense that clients usually will come to the consultation and they are in a state of, they're worried probably about something, and they come, not all of them, of course, but many of them come because they're worried and they need help. So whatever you say is going to have a strong influence on them. And if they come dreaming that they're going to buy the house of their dreams, and you see a lot of transits that are not supporting that, we need to be very careful on how we address that, because of course we don't want to lie, but we are treading on their dreams. So we need to be very, very careful. Everything we say is going to be taken as written in stone. Of course, not always, but very often, especially if it's the first time they're going to an astrology and that kinds of things. And sometimes it happens when you have a client that comes back, maybe they come back every year or something, and then maybe 3 or 4 years later, they said, yes, because I remember in your first consultation, you said this and this and that. And it's amazing how the power it can have. So we need to be very, very careful how we address everything about this client.